July 22nd, I'm in Burbank, California at Flappers Comedy Club. July 25th and 26th, I'm in Niagara Falls, New York at Seneca Niagara Resort and Casino. July 31st, I'm in Omaha, Nebraska at the Orpheum Theater. August 1st through the 3rd, I'm in Greenville, South Carolina at the Greenville Comedy Zone. August 8th, 9th, I'll be in New York at the City Winery. And August 14th through the 16th, I'm in Atlanta, Georgia at the Helium Comedy Club.
Hey, what's up, everybody? This is Gary with the Get Some podcast. And my guest this week is...
This motherfucker Gary.
Hey, what up, everybody? Excuse me, that was kind of disgusting. This is Gary Owen with the Get Some podcast. Last week, I was in Las Vegas. Shouts out to everybody that came out to the Palms Casino, the Pearl Theater inside the Palms. I love that theater. This is the third or fourth year in a row. I think it's the third year in a row. Sold it out. It was just a vibe, man. It was a vibe. You had to be there. Shout out to Rob, Adam. My son Austin came out to hang with me. First time I got to hang with him in Vegas. The Weiner brothers from Hawaii, the legends. T-Row from Pittsburgh. We had a ball, man. The Toronto Raptors head coach came to the show. Darko from Serbia. Dwayne Wade from What's Happening came out. Mike Tyson was in the building. It was dope. It was everything you wanted in Vegas to happen. Went to Poppy Steak. The vibe at Poppy Steak is unmatched, but the steak, it's all right. They got these Poppy Steak has this whole presentation. It's this $1,000 steak. It comes out in a gold case. They open it up. The guy brands it right in front of you. And then they bring the steak out, and it was all right. I went to Peter Luger's the next day. That's my favorite. Ain't nobody messing with Peter Luger's. If you go to Vegas, Peter Luger's inside Caesar's Palace. There's one in Brooklyn. There's another one in New York. But this one is on par with that. That's my favorite steakhouse in the country, bar none. It's not the vibe you're going to get at Poppy Steak, but it's still, the steaks are better. The sides are better. Although Poppy Steak did have I know this sounds crazy, they had a pastrami appetizer. That shit was fire. And the waiter sold me on it. I was like, pastrami appetizer? Trust me, if you go to Poppy Steak, steaks are average, but that pastrami appetizer is fire. But if you want the best steak, Peter Luger's inside Caesar's Palace. Trust me when I tell you. So I can't wait to come back next year. It was just a vibe. The NBA Summer League was there. I did this podcast called Road Trippin' with Richard Jefferson and Kendrick Perkins. I almost said Kendrick Lamar. But we got in a funny conversation about the WNBA where I said, Richard Jefferson is very by the book. He's very corporate. He is employed by different networks. So I understand it. But he asked me about the WNBA. He said, what do you think about Angel Resse and Caitlin Clark? And I said, well, I think that's the best thing that could have happened to both of them. And I definitely think Angel Resse doing this made her a villain, which makes you watch her, which makes you interested in her. That's the best thing she could have ever did. The best. I know Shaq and RG3's having a little Twitter beef, and Shaq's like, I'm going to punch you in the face if you keep talking about Angel Resse. And not in RG3's defense, Robert Griffin, but he understands what's generating traffic, what's getting clicks, and that's him talking about Angel Resse more than anything else. So I understand it. And Shaq saying he's going to knock RG3 out next time he sees him is generate more traffic. So, I mean, if you look at just content, that's good content. But I did say, we got to be honest with each other. The WNBA is boring. And we keep lying to ourselves like it's on par with the NBA. No, it's not. It's no different than the UFL or Arena Football League. It's not as good as NFL football. It's just not. The WNBA is not. It's boring. You know what? It's not boring? When Caitlin Clark plays, when Angel Resse plays. It's not boring because you're rooting against the Angel Resse most of the time. And most people are rooting for Caitlin Clark. That's when it's not boring because you have a hero and you have a villain. And it makes good TV. But I told him, I said, if you want to boost ratings for the WNBA, a 7 All-Star game going east-west, whatever, lesbians versus straight, and that's how we WNBA. Because you can tell by the pregame fits who's a lesbian and who's straight. And then, of course, some are bi. But that would make it more interesting. I'm sorry. I don't know why. I do this. I'm sorry. When I get on my podcast, the first 5 minutes, I start yawning. But that would make it more interesting. Lesbian, straight, and we go hard in the paint. We do Missy Elliott is the celebrity coach. And then Megan Thee Stallion is a celebrity coach for the straight team. Ooh. And we play nothing but lesbian songs. Melissa Etheridge. Cardi B can go either way. So that would make it more interesting. No difference in the NBA. I think we're not watching an All-Star game. Let's do a white versus black NBA All-Star game. And I mean sell the arena like that. This half is white people. This half is black people. Mixed people can sit where they want, but you just have an all-white versus all-black All-Star game. And I think now more than ever, it could really happen to be competitive. Because if you got Luka, Joker, Peyton Pritchard, Tyler Hero, I'm not trying to think of average white players. I'm thinking about good ones. Austin Reeves, Caruso, Chet Holmgren. I mean, there's some white guys that can ball. I don't know if you guys realize that. Indiana. Indiana has some white boys. I'm not white dude. I'm on white boys. But yeah, this is the time. Zach LaVine can play on either team. First half on white team, second half on the black team. I think we do a white versus black All-Star game. So anyways, my clip that I talked about last week with the paper straws, still going strong. We're at over, I undersold myself. It's over 50 million across the board. 50 million. If you combine TikTok, Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, YouTube, 50 mil plus. And it's slowing down a little bit, but not a lot. I'm dumbfounded how that thing hit. I got stopped so many times for that. We just posted another clip today of this military thing that happened. Shouts out to the Baltimore Comedy Factory, because that's where all these viral clips have been coming from the last week. And of course, my guy Adam put them together. But with all that being said, I think for the longest, I've been doing crowd work forever, just like any seasoned headliner has. And I said last week, my biggest regret is not having the right camera people with me to capture those moments. But now I do. But I think now more than ever, it's translating to ticket sales. So this week, I am in Sacramento, California. I started out with 5 shows at the Punchline. And the Punchline it's an average size comedy club, but still. We started out with 5. And then we added 2. So we went to 7. Then we went to 8. Then they said, you want to add Thursday. So originally I was just doing Friday, Saturday, Sunday. I said, sure. We had Thursday. We saw both for Thursday, tonight shows. Now we moved into Monday. So we're doing Thursday, 2 Friday, 3 Saturday, 3 Sunday, 2 Monday. 12 shows in 1 week. We broke the record at the Sacramento Punchline. It's because I've been doing good, but I think it's definitely because these clips have gone nuts. And not just these, but other ones in the last 6 months. I've seen an enormous jump in my ticket sales the last 6 months. It's exciting. It's just somebody that's been grinding for so long, and to see it finally, like, people are like, whoa, I didn't know Gary could do crowd work. Really? And some of my crowd work isn't crowd work. I'm telling a story. The paper straw thing was not crowd work. That was not me purposely going to the crowd. That was an interruption happened, and I addressed it. So we got 12 shows in Sacramento. And then I was going to LA Monday to do Joy Taylor's podcast. And I can't do it now, so I had to cancel. So what I did was I added a Tuesday show in Burbank at this club called Flappers, which I've never performed at. So we added one, that sold out. So now we added a 9 o'clock show in Burbank, which I'm sure that's going to be gone too. So tickets are freaking flying. It's just exciting. That's one thing. Nobody's ever going to call me as lazy. You're not going to funny. If you think I'm funny, if you don't think I'm funny, that's here nor there. But what you're not going to do is call me lazy. Because I got this podcast. I got me and Nate Jackson's podcast. I'm on the road. It's just, and I tell you what, I really, really enjoy paying my people. As crazy as that sounds, when I do my shows and I got to pay my openers or Adam or Chris for the web stuff and the cam stuff and AJ over to LMG, when things are going good and clips are getting out there and they look good, they sound good, they're edited good, people are responding to them, it feels good to reward your people. And I just had to pay everybody today. And I felt like, I love it when all my people's eating, so to speak. And I feel like right now more than ever, all my team is eating. I know my manager's eating. I know that. I know my agent's eating because they get 10% of everything. So everybody eating at Team Gary right now. Everybody eating. And we eating good. Facts. So thanks to all the fans. Thanks to everybody responding to these videos and the clips. And when I say we got a treasure chest, we got so many cities that we haven't even tapped into yet. Nashville. I got all kinds of clips from Nashville. I got 2 weeks in Baltimore. We just tapped into the first week. I got Kansas City. I got Des Moines. I got Charlotte. God, I got a lot of cities coming and more. I can't wait to do DC next month. Austin. We got some powerhouse cities that notoriously with comedians love going there because the clips are fire, especially the DC Improv. That's one of the most legendary clubs for clips to come out of. So, man, that's next week. We got, I think 4 shows are already sold out in DC. DC is going to be not like a Sacramento, but it's going to be like one of the other cities where I end up doing 9 or 10 shows that weekend. So, boom, boom. And then we have a huge announcement coming up in August. I will be recording my next special in January. I can't give the location yet, but we're going to make a big announcement in August. And then August 23rd, my new special, Gary Owen No S, is dropping on YouTube. And if you ask me why on YouTube, because nobody else wanted it. I could lie and be like, I just want complete control and da-da-da-da. No, we held it. We submitted it to Hulu. We submitted it to Amazon. We submitted it to Netflix, and they all passed. So I was like, the beauty of doing things yourself is you can put it out there yourself. So shouts out to Mint Comedy, who's had it. It's been on you had to pay to get it if you want the early release. But at this point, the last day on Mint is July 22nd, and then it's going to be on YouTube July 23rd. And then those clips are going to come out. And I'm really excited about this special because It's heavy military, a lot of military jokes. And if you watch it, and this was on purpose, but it was something to prove to myself. There's not one racial joke in Gary Owen No S. And not that that's a big deal to some people, but I purposely did that because, you know, you read comments, you listen to the quote unquote haters, and that's all he's got is black, white shit. And I'm going, not on this special. Wait till you watch it. So I'm pumped for July 23rd. Just to see. I'm just curious what kind of numbers we can get. And I feel like this special is dropping at the perfect time for me because all my social media is popping right now. And then if you could come right in when your social media is hitting and people are excited and they're checking your name out and you can just drop an hour special. So I'm excited. This was dropping and then we're filming my next one in January. And I'll make that announcement in August. What city and what venue. It's a beautiful theater. It isn't a cold city. It's going to be cold. So bundle up, but just keep on the lookout next month. January, my next special. I don't have a title for it yet. So maybe I'll ask you guys, what do you think the title of my next special should be? Because I'm open to whatever. I have some topics I want to talk about, but you know, it's July. August, September, October, November, December, January. I got 6 months. Who knows what's going to happen in 6 months? So I'm pumped. And the beauty about this special is I'm doing it myself. I'm hiring my people. I'm hiring the same guy, Adam, Chris, and they'll hire their team. I'm going to hire the people that have helped me get to this point. I'm not going outside of that circle. I want to pay and I want to reward my guys for being down with me from the jump. So I'm hiring Adam to do this special. It'll be his first big comedy special. And I'm going to have my guys open up and we'll just have complete control. And then, you know, if anybody works at Netflix, Hulu, or Amazon wants to see it, awesome. I would love to have a special on one of your networks. But what I'm not going to do, I'm not waiting. We're going to tape this one in January and it's airing in February. Unless somebody comes along with an offer that is awesome. And I would love that. I'm not even going to lie. That depends on what the offer is. But, and I don't take none of this personal. When I say the special coming out next month or next week got passed on, that's fine. There's no hard feelings. I looked at Ryan Davis. I looked at Ali Sadiq and their interviews, they got passed on and they're crushing in their own right. So, there is no hard feelings. It just, the truth is the truth. You know, I'm not bitter. I'm not mad. I would love to have a Netflix special. I would love for them to get on board. Shouts out to guy Nick Jackson, who his special stayed in the top 10 for over a week. His dropped last week. I'm excited for him to see what he can do. I think the last week or so, after I've had like 3 or 4 clips go nuts, the biggest thing that I got excited about was I had a lot of people from outside the country hit me up. Ireland specifically, I've had more people in Ireland. And when I say a lot, I probably mean 15 to 20, which is still a lot when people are actively like typing to you when you come into this country. I always get people to come to this when you come into my city. The funniest thing is I just left Vegas. The day after Vegas, a girl sends me a message on Facebook or Instagram. You never come to Vegas. I keep looking. I'm like, we just sold out the Pearl Theater. What do you mean? Where you been? That's just funny when you leave a city and they ask you, you never come. Like, I was just there. So Ireland is the one that I was like, what? Of all countries. So that's what I think Netflix will do. I think I saw Nate Jackson. The Netflix special comes out and the very next week, he's like, I'm going to Australia for an Australian tour, first time ever. So that's the one thing I haven't done yet. I've done a show in England. I've done a couple shows in Canada, a couple shows in the Caribbean and things, but I've never went overseas and did like a European run. And what crazy about Europe is we think it's so big in the United States. It's really not. Because the United States, if you go through all 50 states, everybody's going to speak English. Everybody's using the American dollar. You'll have a rapport with everybody. In Europe, if you go through the same size, if you're going to drive through the country, right? Everybody's going to speak English. You're going to know everybody. In Europe, if you drove the same amount, you're going to hit 8 different countries with 8 different languages, 8 different types of money, 8 different cultures completely. So that's the thing about Europe. You can drive through and do a whole tour over there just on a bus or whatever. You don't have to fly to all these cities, but you're going to hit different cultures. So that's one thing I haven't done yet that I think a Netflix special that popped would do for me more than anything else. But believe me, I ain't complaining. I'm happy as shit right now. So, yeah. It's an exciting time. I know if you can tell my voice. It's exciting right now to be in Team Gary. And it ain't just me. Thanks to all the people that have been here. Loyal fans. I love those. I don't like the fans that be like, I started watching you in 5th grade and now I'm married with 3 kids. I'm like, ooh, I've been around for a minute. So the other big thing that happened last week, my twins turned 2 years old, baby. The terrible 2s are upon us. Rome and Royal. And a lot of people don't know, like, when I think it's natural when your kids have birthdays as parents, when no matter how old, you always go back to the day they were born. And I've had 2 pretty scary pregnancies. My son Austin, who came to visit me in Vegas this weekend, we had a ball. Came on stage at the end of the night. It was dope. We got rear-ended when he was born. I remember I had an S10 pickup and my ex had a Honda Accord, and we had the Honda Accord packed. We had all the baby stuff. We had the day we were going to the hospital. It was all ready to go. And we were going to see a movie, and this truck rear-ended us at a red light, and she just didn't feel right. And we were in my pickup, and we just took the pickup to the hospital, Cedars in LA. And they just said, we want to run tests. Yeah, we think the baby's coming. And he was there freaking all night. Then we got rear-ended like at 4 or 5 o'clock in the afternoon on November 25th. And then Austin came out November 26th at 10 in the morning. 10 in the morning, West Coast time, 1 p.m. East Coast time. And the reason I remember that, because some things you never forget, the New Orleans Saints was playing the St. Louis Rams on TV when he was born. So I remember I had the TV on. They said, oh, he's coming. And I was like, oh. And I said, I'll never forget Rams versus Saints when Austin was born. So that was scary, him getting rear-ended. Now the twins, that was a little more scary because anybody that's had twins, like they usually don't go full term, the women. Hey, this podcast is brought to you by Factor Meals. Now listen, summertime's here. We want to do outside activities. We want to be traveling. Anybody got time to be cooking all day, every day? So on those days you don't feel like cooking, wouldn't it be nice to have a nice, delicious meal in the freezer or the fridge? All you got to do is thaw out or throw in the microwave and just have a nice, healthy meal. So you can go out and enjoy your summertime activities. Well, you can do that with Factor Meals. And listen, I've had just about every one. These bad boys taste good. I know some meals be bland. I don't know. They got some little extra spice, a little extra flavor in there. I don't know what the chefs are doing in the Factor Meal kitchens, but they're making that thing taste good. I know that. So listen, if you want to get started at Factor Meals, all you got to do is go to factormeals.com/getsome50off and use code GETSOME50off to get 50% off plus free shipping on your first box. That's code GETSOME50off at factormeals.com/GETSOME50off for 50% off plus free shipping. Factormeals.com/GETSOME50off. Did you get that already? That's GETSOME50off. And let me just spell it out for you so there's no you can't be like, I didn't get that. It's factormeals.com/GETSOME50OFF. What does that spell? GETSOME50 off. Thank you, Factor Meals, for sponsoring this podcast. So I remember their mom was, I remember she was gaining a lot of weight over the last week before the boys were born. And I remember her ankles got really fat. And so I was like, I don't know a lot about pregnancies, but usually when the ankles start getting heavy like that, either the babies are coming or something ain't right. I remember I flew to Philly on a Thursday. And so the boys were born July 14th. So July 13th, I flew to Philadelphia. Landed. Her mom calls and says, hey, something ain't right with Bree. We're taking her to the emergency room. We're taking her to the hospital, blah, blah, blah. I start freaking out. So then they tell me, look, they gotta take the babies. They gotta take the boys. Her kidneys are shutting down. Everything was just her body was just shutting down, basically. And so they got to take them. And I started really freaking out. So I'm finding all this out right before I go on stage. So T-Robe is on stage, my opener. The 30 minutes he's on stage is when all this is really hitting me on the phone. I said, well, I'm out. I called the GM of the club. I said, look, I'm about to go up. After I get off, I won't be here this weekend. So T-Robe covered for me that weekend. And when I tell you that hour on stage, because I said I was about to book a private, and they's like, no, she's stable right now. We'll tell you if you got to do something drastic. But I was on a 6 a.m. flight from Philly to Houston direct, and the next morning. But I said, okay, I'm gonna go up. So I go up. We got a sold out show, and when I tell you it was gibberish the first 20 minutes of that hour. Even T-Row was like, what is Gary talking about? My brain was over here and the crowd was looking at me. They were laughing. I think I was getting courtesy laughs, but they was like, where's he going with this? All they kept thinking about was those babies. All they kept thinking about was their mom. Like, what is happening right now? Is everything okay? I got off stage. I didn't do a meet and greet. Usually I do a meet and greet with people. I just got off. I remember when T-Row got off stage, I crossed him. I said, something's wrong with the babies. You'll be headlining the rest of the weekend. I'm out after this show. And he just looked at me. And then I got off stage and I was just like, dude, I just want to go back to the room. I got to get an update. I'm out. So I don't think I slept at all that night. Got up next morning, headed to the airport, landed, got in my car. It was like plane, trains, and automobiles getting to the hospital. I think I landed like 8-something. I'm swerving through traffic. Took about 45 minutes to get to the hospital. I get to the hospital. When I say they were prepping her, so I got to go in. I saw her, give a kiss on her forehead. Everything seems to be all right. They threw the dang hospital garment, the head thing they put on you. And then, so now they said, look, we're going to put you in a waiting room. It could be 15 minutes. It could be 2 hours. But just so you know, when we call you to bring you back, it's time. So I was like, all right. They put me in a waiting room. Now, keep in mind, I still don't know if the babies are really all right. I don't know if she's all right. My head's kind of spinning because everything they told me, it felt like they were trying to not worry me. But that made me more worried. So they put me in a waiting room with other parents, especially dads waiting to go in. And there's a couple people that recognize me, and they're trying to talk, and I am not there. I'm not just. I can't even smile. It's written all over my face. Thank God one of the nurses realized what was happening. And they pulled me and they put me in like a broom closet. And she goes, look, just sitting here. Nobody's going to come in here. She goes, but when I come get you, it's time. So just be ready. I said, all right. So I just sat in there on my phone. And sure enough, she called me. Boom. We went back. She's laying there. She's got the thing up there, got to do a C-section. And one of the boys, was it Royal, one of them came out, Royal or Rome, wasn't crying. That freaked me out. He was just kind of there. And I was like, why? What's going on? And then finally, he started crying a little bit. And I was like, oh, I think it was Rome, the second one. Yeah, Royal to this day is still the wild man and the loud one. Rome is more chill. So I'm pretty sure that was Rome that was I didn't know he was all right. So it's just it was a lot, but that day always rushes back to me on their birthday. And no different than Austin, my oldest. Like every birthday he has, I go back to get rear-ended. And how we had everything planned out. We had the Honda Accord packed. We couldn't have planned it any better. And then, boom, we get rear-ended. So I had to go back. I remember I had to go back once Austin came out and get the Honda, drove the pickup back, and then brought the Honda Accord back. And we had all the baby stuff in there, but we was kind of winging it at that point. But I think every parent's like that. I think you always go back to the day they were born. And everybody's probably got a story. So my daughter, Kennedy, that was smooth. That was the smoothest pregnancy. That was one thing my ex did that was smart. Not one thing she did, but this was smart. So it was July 3rd, and that's my daughter's birthday. And she goes, we're having her today. I said, what do you mean? She goes, we're having her today. I'm not going into labor on July 4th and everybody's on vacation. Or we're getting the B doctor because he's out drinking or partying on July 4th. So we woke up early on July 3rd, and she just started walking it's not a mall. It's Hollywood and La Cienega right there. The mall there where the Kodak Theater is. The Lowe's Hotel's right there. Whatever that outdoor mall is called, she just started walking up and down stairs, up and down, all around. She wouldn't stop walking. I remember I was in Starbucks just watching her walk, sipping. And then she'd come by, and then she just looked at me and she goes, okay, I'm ready. We got in the car. We drove to the hospital. Kenny came out so damn fast. Austin took 16 hours to come out. Kennedy, bloop, came right out. Like, she's ready to go. She's ready to get her life started, which kind of fits her personality. Austin to this day likes to stay at home, don't really need to go out. Kenny was a go-getter, still is, crushing it. So kind of fits her personality. And then I look at the twins, and yeah, Royal came out like most babies, crying, looking around, blah, blah, blah. Rome, they thought something was wrong with that dude. He was so chill. And that's how they were as babies. In the stomach, every time we got a sonogram and stuff, Royal was the one kicking, moving, move up, down, upside down, forward. Rome, just over here in the corner, just chilling. Like we're all squashing them and stuff in the stomach. And that's been their personalities the first 2 years. So it's crazy. Like most people don't see what comedians go through on a day-to-day basis just to keep people entertained. And this isn't make anybody feel sorry for us or to act like our job is all that. There's other people that got their own stories, but comedians are different because we still got to go on stage and entertain because people paid money to see us. And I take that serious. You spend your hard-earned dollar to come see me perform, I got to give you a good show. And no matter what I'm going through in my life, I still got to give you a good show because you don't care. You just need me to get up there and be funny and take all the problems that you're having and forget about them for an hour and a half. And that's the beauty of stand-up because we're taking the audience away for an hour and a half. And no matter what's going on in our life, when we're up there on stage, we forget about our problems too, comedians. And as soon as you get off, you'll be like, I've had times on stage where whether I'm going through a divorce, you're arguing with your girl, your kids are acting up, and money problems. You know, we all like to think we ain't got no money. I've had money problems plenty of times in my career. And you'll be on stage, and then things will be in the pocket. You're killing, and then it'll just pop in your head. You'll be like, and your stomach kind of drops on stage a little bit, but you still got to keep going, baby. That's all we can do. So yeah, it was a big week. And shouts out to Joe Coy sending my twins a 1-of-1 Joe Burrow card. He said he had something special. I know that. So I think he sent it for me, but I'm gonna put it away. It will be the boys 1-of-1 collectible cards. And then hopefully when they win the Super Bowl this year, the card will be worth a lot more than it is now. So thank you, Uncle Joe Coy. Speaking of, by the time next week's podcast come, all the NFL teams will be in training camp. And the only unsigned first-round pick is the Bengals. Shamar Stewart, I guess that's his name. I think he's getting terrible advice from his agent. If everybody, I'll put it like this. If every first-round pick is signed, but you, and the thing you're standing on, other people have signed, which is basically, for what I'm getting out of this whole situation is if he does something, acts up, gets in trouble, things like that, they can void like the last 2 years of his contract or something like that. The money isn't guaranteed. But basically, if you just don't fuck up, keep your head clean, there's no issue here. And I don't think he's ever done that. I don't think this kid's ever gotten in trouble. But, you know, the Bengals got this reputation like we're cheap. We don't pay people yet. When Joe Burrow got paid, he was the highest paid quarterback. When Jamar Chase got paid, he's the highest paid wide receiver. So where's this coming from? I think the past, I think would the Bengals like to do that? No. But I think when you got someone like Joe Burrow putting pressure, I think they take care of their people. And I do think Trey Henderson will get done. Could be wrong, but I think it will get done. But this guy, Shamar Stewart, like he's standing on something that he's a 17th pick. The 16th pick and the 18th pick have the same clause in their contract, and they signed it. And I don't think there's rumors he won't play this year and he'll re-enter the draft. That's not smart because I don't know if he was already a flyer. He wasn't expected to go that high. So I don't think he'll go higher next year, which means your guarantee's lower. And if he falls out the first round, then he really made a mistake. Now, he could completely ball out. And then in 5 years, we're like, whoa. But I just think when you have 17, 18 million guaranteed on the table, you're 21 years old. I don't know who his agent is. I don't know why he's trying to stand on this. And they're trying to say like the Bengals snuck that in. No, they didn't sneak it in. They put it in there. And your agent talked to the Bengals about it. And they go, well, this is the new precedent we're sending. So this is going to be in next year, in the year after, and the year after. At some point, there has to be a first for everything. So you just happen to be the first one to get this in his contract. But it's nothing that other teams aren't putting in their contracts. Some teams are, some aren't. But don't act like the Bengals are the only ones doing this. And this just came out of left field and the Bengals are just trying to be sneaky about it. That's not what happened here. So I just think he's getting bad advice. That's all. Do I want him to be in Cincinnati? Yeah. Do I want him to ball out? Yeah. I don't take none of it personal. I know this is business, but people forget, like, your agent works for you. I forget that sometimes. My agent will call me, like, I don't want to do this gig. And I'm like, I want to do this gig. I got a couple friends that are promoters. Shouts out to CH, Chanel. I did a show for my buddy Brad. There's some shows, if it's my people and we can all make money together, I'm going to do it. So I forget sometimes that my agent works for me. And I think Shamar has to realize your agent works for you. So I know he's leading you down the path and everything, but I would call some of the vets on Cincinnati. And listen, if you've never been in trouble and that's not in your DNA, I mean, what's the problem? And the Bengals notoriously like to pay their people. They're not looking for a way not to pay you. They're just covering their things. It's just something you do. Like, I'm not gay. If they want to put in a contract, if Gary sucks a dick, we're not paying him, I'd sign it because I know it ain't going to happen. So I'd be like, never done it. I'm not going to do it. So yeah, let me sign that. If Shamar's never been in trouble, he don't plan on getting in trouble, just sign it. I don't know. Now the rumors he's back at Texas A&M, practice with the team. He might try to play next year. I'm like, I doubt that happens. He already got drafted in the NFL. Listen, can never say never. But I just think at this point, I don't know. I think he should just be like, look, I'm going to come in and play. I'm not going to get in trouble. It's, you know what it reminds me of? When I was going through my divorce and we was negotiating, we went through mediation, right? And there was one thing that went back and forth that my lawyer said, and you got to realize every time my lawyer would send an email back and forth, I got paid for it. So I had to shut it down. So my ex wanted to put out a life insurance policy on me. And it was like, I don't know, it was a lot. And my lawyer was like going back and forth with her lawyer, like she shouldn't get this. And I looked at my lawyer, I said, I'm dead. If this happens, I'm dead. I could care less. I don't care. If she's got to play it. Listen, if my ex has a life insurance policy on me and she has to pay a premium every month and I have nothing to do with it, I'm not paying for it. That's on her. I don't care. I'm gone if this happens. And she goes, well, I just don't. My lawyer was like, I don't think the life insurance should be more than what she's getting in the settlement for the divorce. I said, who cares? I'm dead. Let it go. And that was an instance where if I just fell back and let my lawyer handle things, there would have been so many emails back and forth. It would have ended up costing me thousands of dollars probably. But I just nipped it in the bud. I said, no, I don't care. Let her have it. I wanted this divorce to happen. This is like the last sticking point. What are we doing here? If she's got to pay the premium, I don't care. She can take out a $50 million life insurance policy on me. Do you know what that payment is per month? She's not paying that. She didn't ask for that much. I'm just saying, for example, but at some point you got to realize they work for you. And my lawyer stopped and we gave her the life insurance that she wanted to do. And that was it. And then I don't know if she has it or not. Honestly, I've never been asked to take a physical. So I don't know if she's paying on it or not. And it has no effect on my life at all. And then if she does have one and I pass away, then she's going to get broke off. But I don't care at that point. I'm gone. So I just think Shamar has to realize his agent works for him. And if I'm you, I'm like, get me into camp, make it happen. Let's just shut the doors. And I'm not leaving until we got a deal. I would fly my ass to Cincinnati, sit down with Katie Blackburn, sit down with the front office and be like, what we got to do, and let's make this happen. And we're not leaving this room until we make it happen. I've seen it happen before. So that's it. Let me vent. But I can't wait, baby. Next week when we're doing this podcast, everybody's going to be in training camp. I can't wait for this season, baby. I can't wait. All right, y'all. We'll see y'all next week. This is Gary on the Get Some podcast. Don't forget, July 23rd, Gary Owen No S on YouTube. Mark it down. Put a notification, whatever you got to do. Watch it. We got to make this thing huge. I want it to have so many views that Netflix is be like, who is this motherfucker? I'm be like, the same guy you said no to the last 10 years. No hard feelings, but say yes now. All right. Talk to you guys later. See you next week. For real this time.
This motherfucker Gary.